Welcome to episode 250 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. 250. That's a round number. I need to post over in our Discord that we're live real quick. So,
yes, you do.
Talk amongst yourselves while I do that real quick.
So I'm trying to multitask and do school stuff so that I don't have to do any more tonight. I'm trying to be done.
There we go. Okay. Let's do sponsor stuff.
Yeah. If you are looking for a commercial feeder breeder facility, look no further than Lil's Shop of Horrors, which operates out of San Antonio, Texas.
You all right?
No, I almost died on a cashew. I do apologize.
Yeah, choked up talking about Lil's Shop of Horrors.
Almost died on a cashew.
I thought you'd be better with nuts in your mouth.
I'm going to throat punch you and walk out of this room. Tonight is not the night, good sir.
Cashews are nuts. You're an adult.
Not the night, good sir.
What are you talking about?
No.
Get your mind out of the gutter, man.
Lil's Shop of Horrors operates a commercial feeder breeder facility based out of San Antonio, Texas. They specialize in rats, mice, dubia roaches, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and more. They provide feeders for everyone from first-time keepers with one snake to large-scale breeding operations with many different animals, and they also supply to local pet shops. No order is too large or too small. If you're looking to place an order, feel free to contact them through any of their social media pages at Lil's Shop of Horrors or email them via their inquiries page at lilsshopofhorrors.com.
Also, if you need LED UVB bulbs, stop buying stupid curly bulbs from PetSmart. Don't buy your UVB bulbs from there. Go to VivTech Products and use code GUMBO22 and save 15% on bulbs that'll last you at least 4 years or more. I think we're going to do a giveaway for some bulbs soon.
Okay.
We had some bulbs laying around.
Yep.
And
we were told we could. Yeah.
So we keep saying we're going to do a giveaway every time, and we haven't set one up. We need to set up a giveaway. You know what? If you're listening to this, and if you're in the chat tonight, we'll bring it up again later. If you have a good idea for what people have to do to be entered for the giveaway,
prize,
let us know. I mean, there's always
we got all kinds of stuff
like
around
this
here.
Post, but the like this post thing is just, I want someone to have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get off your ass, do something to win a bulb. But I do. I've got I got bulbs.
Maybe we should make them take pictures of them volunteering somehow.
You be careful about what they're doing
in the reptile field.
You still gotta be careful what they're doing.
Okay, I want to know.
But so yeah, we'll give away some VivTech bulbs soon. But go check out VivTech Products. Use code GUMBO22, save you 15% on your LED UVB bulbs that will last you for 4 years or more. Also, Herb's Reptile shows. The next reptile show coming up is not till March 1st in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. March 1st, Baton Rouge. Then Bryan College Station, March 8th, March 9th. Then Rosenberg, which again, we won't be at. March 15th and March 16th. Slidell, Louisiana, April 5th, April 6th. Belton, Texas, April 26th and 27th. Hey, Robert, where's Belton, Texas?
Near Austin.
Okay. April 26th and 27th.
Sorry, near Waco. But
near Waco. Waco, Texas. Yeah. West Monroe, Louisiana is May 3rd, May 4th. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Still not going to Oklahoma is what that is. Is May 31st and June 1st. And then
the reason I'm going to Stillwater is to watch Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Watch what?
Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Oh, yeah.
I know those are probably words that don't mean anything to you in that order.
No, I know. Mm-hmm. I like bluegrass.
I've heard of them.
They're not bluegrass.
Oh, they're bluegrass.
Good try.
They all. What are they?
They're red dirt country. Not bluegrass. Sure. Not even close.
Are you
What's
sure?
What's the difference?
Yes, I'm 1,000% sure.
I don't think you're right. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
There's no banjos. They might have.
I was just about to say.
Are you sure there's not a banjo? They could have added one. It's in Oklahoma. They may have one.
There's no high pitched, singing. I love bluegrass. Don't get me wrong.
Not all bluegrass is high pitched singing.
That is considered a rock band.
Yeah, I mean, closer to rock than bluegrass, but
I don't know. What about what's the band that does the AC/DC covers? Katie, help me out here. She's not even listening. She has no clue. She's just looking at her phone. She's not even part of this podcast right now.
Nope.
There's a bluegrass band that does covers.
Oh, shit.
They do.
They are called.
And they do some awesome AC/DC covers.
Sure. Okay.
You heard them.
I'm sure.
We were in the car and you were like, "Oh, look, this."
Because I have an entire
Steven
Spotify
Seagal.
playlist
What?
of.
Steven Seagulls.
Nope, that's not what I'm thinking.
I have an entire Spotify playlist that is just bluegrass covers of random stuff. It's amazing.
Back in bluegrass.
Hayseed Dixie.
Oh, Hayseed Dixie.
It's Hayseed Dixie.
Oh.
They do Hell's Bells. They're an awesome version.
Hayseed, ragweed. It's all the same.
Both of them make you sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, someone wants to know where our guest is. They'll be here eventually. We're going to ramble for a few minutes.
They're not here for us. They're here for her. Let's just be real.
Yeah, but I'm going to use up all the time I can. And then I forgot to mention the last one. Denison, Texas. I think June 7th, June 8th. That's near Dallas.
Yeah, north. It's like almost Oklahoma.
That's too far north. I showed my kids we're talking about population density, and I showed them a map of Texas today, and all it shows is like population density. So obviously the big cities are bright red.
Mm-hmm.
God, they don't fucking know their own state. They start naming random cities. They have no idea what. One class was like, "Wait a minute, Dallas is that far north?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh my!
What do you mean? It's North Texas. There's literally a school up there called North Texas.
I had a kid who thought it would take an entire day to get to Dallas. And I'm like, well, for a 9-year-old, it probably does seem like an entire day. So I'll give it to you.
I mean, North Texas is in Denton, which is right next to Denison. I mean, they're really close.
Mm-hmm.
And then one kid just kept guessing Austin for everything. And I'm like, then we got to Austin. She had no clue what I was. Same kid that didn't know where Mexico is.
You pointed El Paso, and she's like Austin.
Jeez, I was surprised. A couple kids did know El Paso. A couple kids know Amarillo, and a handful knew Brownsville. But I think that's because some of them drive through Brownsville to visit family.
Yeah, Denison is actually on the border. It's like on the border.
Is it that far north?
Yeah, Denison is a mile from the Oklahoma border.
Gross.
I mean, the main road that runs on the north side of Denison is Texoma Road. So
I'm not going to Oklahoma again. I'm not doing it. It's too far. I've seen enough windmills or wind turbines. I'm good.
It's because of the one-day trip you and I made there that sucked so bad.
Dude, that sucks so bad. That, and I'm telling you, I've never seen more flies than that one herp show in Oklahoma.
No, me either. That was crazy.
It was horrifying.
Apparently, they're still like that.
So that place just smells like shit all the time?
I mean, it's Oklahoma.
I love shit on Oklahoma. See, that's the joy I get to have when I move to Texas. I get to shit on Oklahoma because now I live in Texas.
Well, what's funny is you shit on Oklahoma and Canada, so you're shitting on our friend Norm twice.
They're the same place. They're both north.
Poor Norm.
Because he lives right there in Shawnee.
Hey, you know what? Until Friday, we're not friends with Canada because we need to beat them in hockey.
Fuck Canada. We're going to beat them on Thursday.
On Friday, we can be friends, but tomorrow night.
I love the fact that we got into 3 fights in 9 seconds.
That was so bad.
And won.
And won the game. It was great.
Yeah.
After they booed our national anthem.
They're really booing our president. But I mean, it does suck they booed our national. I mean, we play their national anthem.
We don't boo their national anthem.
Honestly, we don't. It's also the time we use to go to the bathroom. So we're not too busy to boo it.
Fair point.
Sealside said, you can win. I don't even care about hockey. They're going to kick you out of that country, man.
I have Canadian relatives who've already been talking trash in our family chat on Facebook.
You can't say you don't care about hockey. They'll kick you out.
I really just need them to be put in their place. That's really all I care about.
I just love beating y'all in your own pastime. And then
do you get very competitive when I watch?
I've already bastardized
sports,
bastardized football.
Even if it's not Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else we got going on? Not much lately.
You came to the school with our Chinese alligator the other night.
I did. I took
and were so much popular than I was. I had a pre-K child, age 4, walk up to me at one end of our table and go, "I'm just here to see the alligator. Can you tell me where he is?" I was like, "He's on that side of the table." And she literally pranced away from me to the other end of our 6-foot table and then stared at James like she had massive goo-goo hearts in her eyes. It was phenomenal.
Robert, you got a fan in the chat. Just throwing that out there.
Let's see. Hello?
But yeah, so we had the alligator, and then we swapped places because you were holding Pat, the blue tongue that's behind us,
I was.
and then we swapped places.
He's so freaking heavy.
We swapped places. That I held Pat, and I had held KP for like an hour and didn't get peed on.
I held Pat for an hour and it was fine.
You held KP for about 10 seconds and he peed on you.
All over my
I
arm.
laughed and then I got peed on. But
all over your shirt.
And then I put Pat in his tub. I can say Pat in his tub because as he was shitting in the tub, I now know Pat is a male.
Yay. Happy gender reveal.
For blue tongues, they have to like get x-rays or blood work. Mine, you just wait for them to take a dump and they pop out.
Yep. Good times.
KP's so he went on kind of a hunger strike, and I was trying to get him to eat some other stuff. He's gonna start growing now because now I know he just wants mice. He's gonna get bigger.
James is an enabler, so he caved.
It's that or starve. He literally won't eat what he used to eat.
He'll get hungry enough and eat. Isn't that how it works?
I went a while.
Oh.
He refused. So he's on a mouse diet.
Animals we do not want to starve to death. That's definitely number one.
That would be true.
So he's gonna get all the mice he wants, and he's about to grow. I got to get some quail. But damn bird flu's got me screwed.
KP's pretty good size though. He's like 12 inches.
What do you measure? No,
my arm is from my wrist to my elbow is 12 inches.
He's bigger than that.
Is he?
Yeah.
When I was holding him the other night.
No.
Okay, so maybe 18 inches.
Let's say your forearm and your hand.
In my hand, yeah. I was trying to imagine when I was holding him the other day. You can't really see that arm in the picture, but
yeah, he won't eat crock chow anymore. So I have an entire bag of it, which I think I'm going to try to feed into the blue tongue. I think I'm going to mush it up, make it wet, and feed it as a wet diet to the blue tongue now. So, anyways, so there's that. We did that. We've been printing a lot of stuff on my 3D. I got 3D printers now. That's hard to say. And Robert has 3 3D printers and a water cooler. So, if nobody follows Robert, he ordered a 3D printer and he got a water cooler. My favorite part is that Amazon tried to tell you that the 3D printing company fucked up and sent you a water cooler.
No.
Oh, they're standing by that. Like I was in a chat with their support last night, and they were like, "That was not us. That came directly from their warehouse, FL Sun's warehouse. So we don't know how that happened."
FL Sun just had a water cooler hanging around. They're like, "Send this to
like, let's stick a sticker on this and send it out." Yeah.
He'll love water cooler, 3D printer. They're the same.
Absolutely crazy.
So now Robert has to wait. So right now we're tied on machines. But if anybody's,
I do love the shelf that you have. It keeps your stuff.
I did. I got organized
until it takes over my sewing table.
Don't go in there right now.
Oh, are you serious?
Well, I was in a hurry and I had a whole bunch of stuff come in and I had to move. So it's fine. It'll be fine. If you're in is it Arlington this weekend, Robert? Or Dallas?
Dallas.
Denison?
No, the show JT's going to.
Not in Denison. It's in I don't know. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, if you're in the I don't know area around Dallas, Arlington, Denison, Denton.
Are those even all next
Montana?
To each other? You're just throwing out random things now.
I don't know. Anyways, there's an oddity show up there. You should go to this weekend and see our buddy JT because he'll have a bunch of our stuff and his stuff. And you should go buy stuff so I can buy another 3D printer.
James, look at your phone.
Yeah. I got it. So go to wherever he's going to be and then go there. Hold on.
Oh, so I didn't tell you. We're taking KP back to school in March.
That's next month. Why?
Because I volunteered us to go to another after school event. Just so you know.
Yay.
It's gonna be great.
Okay. Wonderful. Super. Yay.
We were asked specifically to bring the alligator.
Bring the alligator?
Yeah. Okay. What happens when you have a Chinese alligator, James?
I don't know if anybody knows this. We have a Chinese alligator in our house. So, all right, let's get to our guest. We don't have anything else? Nothing else to talk about?
I mean, I can always have stuff to talk about, but let's bring her in so I'm not all by myself.
Let's get to our guest. Our guest tonight is, well, let Robert. Robert, you introduce. Do some work.
Hold on, I'm having issues with my connection. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess. Erin Nichole, she is a realtor. She's the Reptile Realtor. She does realty and reptiles, which makes it great if you're looking for a house.
Wait. Do you market yourself as a reptile realtor though?
I do though.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Which is funny.
Yeah, she definitely does.
We talked briefly at Carpet Fest, but it was
Mhm.
a very crazy night. So
Yeah, I sure do.
that's awesome.
I'm interested in getting to some of the comments. Well, we'll get to some of the comments on our questions in a little bit, but they were interesting. So, what all do you keep? Let's talk about that first.
Here in recent times, I used to keep snakes. I had a whole variety of, ball python morphs and stuff. I had angolans. I had some doomerals. I had, a couple of boas. I had a bunch of snakes, and I lost my whole snake collection back with the freeze in 2021. Nobody turned into like a block of ice. I didn't have power for 5 days. Let me give you some context.
Oh.
Yeah, it really sucked. I mean, I did what I could, but you can only do so much with no power, Nobody turned, like I said, nobody froze to death, but it was the respiratory infection in my snake room that just, I could only do so much, So I lost my collection right after that. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was out. I disappeared, from the expos and coming around and seeing my friends and stuff, which sucked. That's a shitty thing to do. But anyway, I got back into it, and I keep geckos now. More so for just enjoyment of keeping. I'm not breeding. I'm not, selling or anything like that. I just enjoy it. So yeah.
That's cool.
You can't be the reptile realtor without having,
a reptile.
Right, exactly.
So fun.
Yeah, I've got okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have Cerasinorum geckos and a few species of day geckos.
Did
So
those come from Carl?
A handful of my Ceras did. Yeah, Carl's good people. I mean,
if you're gonna get, you gotta get from the.
I mean, he's got the best. He's got the best looking stuff out there. I mean, he works so hard on producing good things. So yeah.
That's why every time someone in Texas tells me they have a lychee, I'm like, did it come from Carl?
Did it come from Carl? Yeah.
Well, if they're worth their salt, yes, it did. Or it came from someone who got it from Carl.
From Carl, that's right. That's
right.
Everyone's got some of Carl's lines in their reptile room somewhere.
Absolutely.
You were gonna say something.
Oh yeah. So this was kind of, you talked about respiratory issues. This has absolutely nothing to do with realty at all. Can snakes catch respiratory issues from people?
I don't know.
Think so.
I didn't know, like guinea pigs can, like mammals, like.
But that's like catching like a virus.
Yeah, I didn't know if snakes could or not though.
I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I mean, maybe they're mammals, but I don't know that viruses would transfer over to.
Well, I guess if you're listening and you know the answer to that,
if you know, somebody pipe in.
Well, and I don't know factually. I don't know. I think a lot of RIs are bacterial.
They could be either.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, because like I know guinea pigs can, because I lost a guinea pig when I was in high school that way. Like she caught the flu from me, and that's how she passed away.
Can't believe you killed a guinea pig.
Crazy. But like today, we had someone that came out of the room and she was like, "Oh, I was wondering if I could hold your snake," and I was like, give me like a week to get over all this sinus garbage, and then yes, because I was like, I don't know, and I'm highly attached to her. I didn't think it could. I think
mammal reptile would be.
Yeah, we're mammals, they're reptiles. I didn't think it would work, but I was like, I don't really feel great today. Let's just not.
But I mean, like, there's been stories of bird flu transferring from birds to mammals.
But I thought that was because the mammals were eating the birds.
I don't know. But birds are like reptiles.
That's two warm-blooded animals too, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, birds are warm-blooded too, just like mammals are. So it could be a correlation there.
Yeah, that was totally random and off topic, but
talking about it.
I mean, I was like, let me ask while we're on the subject.
Somebody will know.
Yeah, somebody will, and I'm sure we will know somebody who will know.
We lost Roberto.
We did. It says device is not connected. He said he was having issues with his connection though.
Well, hopefully and now he's completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully he'll fix that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing real estate? Was it like, because I know we know, so several people we know that do real estate did something else and then became realtors. So did you do something else and then become a realtor, or have you been a realtor?
Oh, I've been a realtor for, I guess, 11 years now. I mean, but I do other stuff too. You know, like but prior to that, I was in emergency operations. So I worked at the Johnson Space Center. I was at NASA, and I worked in the operations center doing stuff there. It was fun. It was like site related kinds of emergency response things. And I've done sales, you know, all kinds of different types of sales throughout my life. And in fact, now it's not common knowledge, but I guess it will be now. I'm the sales and accounts manager for ReptiChip. So if you guys have, I don't know, any retail stores, I probably have my hand on your account in some way or another, retail accounts with them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know the guy that owns that company. He's kind of a jerk.
Whatever. Robert's going to spit his drink out of
Dr. Pepper all over the freaking screen.
Yeah.
Or he's one of the nicest people ever.
When I saw him last time, was it Conroe? Maybe
he was at Conroe.
I think that's where I saw him. Was at Conroe?
And then he was
Conroe.
Yeah, Reptilandia.
At Carpet Fest.
Yeah, I was talking about
He was
Carpet
at Carpet Fest too.
Yeah, that's Carpet Fest.
Yeah,
for a little bit.
Yeah, if
you're my favorite little tool, the little Reptichette.
The Reptichette, yeah.
I'm amazed at how strong that blade pops out on that thing.
So crazy. Do some serious damage with that sucker.
It's perfect for cutting open the filament bags.
Oh yeah,
nice.
So
Cool.
I feel like you need to take the clip from Talladega Nights where he says, "If you don't chew Big Red, fuck you," and just like cover up the Big Red part with "you if you don't use ReptiChip, fuck you," and just make a commercial like that.
Oh my god. No.
Get Ricky Bobby to support ReptiChip.
I think my favorite thing
Otter monkey.
When he posts a job posting and he puts one of the
must not be a turd.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, so if you're not using ReptiChip, fuck you. I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Since I know he won't, but I will.
You're not affiliated with the company.
Yeah,
in person, he might not put it in his marketing.
That's true. He won't type it online.
Oh my stars.
So it's just funny. So go back to the real estate thing. It's funny. Every person we know that went into realty has ran away from teaching.
We do know a lot of teachers who are now real estate agents.
Yeah.
They don't have to deal with kids anymore. I'm starting to think they're smart.
Oh, I don't know. Adults can be.
I had some issues with adults today.
Yeah. It can get kind of funky.
So
like that.
How, on average, we'll get into like the reptile part of it, but on average, from the moment they come to you looking for a house to the time they decide, how long is that? And then like, what was like the longest where it just took them fucking forever to finally go? Yeah, okay.
Shit. I guess maybe the longest one, it was 2 years.
Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
Yeah. Oh my God, I know. Those are bless their little hearts. They just some people just need to make the decision to shit or get off the pot, you know.
I imagine they keep finding small issues here or there, and then, instead of just.
And honestly, like every single client, every single one, it's a unique experience. You know, there's always a different set of, you know, goals or different set of hurdles that we have to overcome. It's kind of fun. I mean, if you're a person that can handle, you know, things that pop up like that and can, you know, find creative ways to get around it, which I really enjoy that part of it, is finding creative ways to get around, you know, hurdles. And I'm pretty creative. Yeah. So there's that. So the 2 years, there was one that was 2 years, or sometimes never. You know, you might be working with somebody for, you know, a few months or a year or 6 months or whatever, and then they just peter out and decide, yeah, we're not gonna do something. Or they call their brother or their cousin or somebody else who knows an agent, and they go to work with somebody else, which sucks.
That's the equivalent to someone coming by your table, talking to you for a while. You explain how to take care of the animal and how much they love it, and they're wonderful. I'll be back, and then they walk back by with a cheap ass like $20 nasty normal ball python. You're like, that's not even what you were looking at.
Or when you have a lady come to 3 Longview shows in a row, and you like teach her everything about how the racks work and get everything, and then she walks over to the other vendor who sees you talking to her, and he's like, "I'll beat his price by 10%," and so sell her out from under you. went to the door and was like, really? Yeah. That one always, can you tell that one rubbed me a little raw?
Yeah, I could tell.
Your mic seems to be low tonight, Robert.
Don't know what to tell you.
Make love.
Is your volume wrong?
Well, no, because if we turn it up, then Erin will be loud.
Let me make sure that it picks that mic back up whenever.
I'd rather hear Erin's voice than Robert's voice.
Sorry, buddy.
I mean, everybody in the chat agrees too. It's fine.
So funny.
So I want to get to the reptiles. I want to get to the questions, and then I want to get to some specifics. But
better?
Talk again.
Is that better?
That is better.
Bit, yeah.
It had, when it dropped me off, it kicked off my mic and put it on the one that's on my camera.
Oh, I had a feeling that's what it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go with this question first. This is the less involved question, but it was, when buying a house, would you be more likely to choose a realtor that is also a reptile keeper over one that is not? And so there were some interesting answers here. Adam Wickens from Wickens Wicked Reptiles said, you're looking for guidance in the biggest purchase of your life. Their voice and pets isn't going to come up, which I strongly disagree that it won't come up. But a couple of things. Anthony Knapp commented that they might know when I'm measuring rooms to see how many enclosures I'm putting in there. So it may come up then. Let's see. Then someone else commented there, not me, currently looking for houses with a specific area for future reptile rooms that I can change the roof/ceiling for some natural lighting plus bonus UVB. That'd be kind of cool. Timothy Lesher said, honestly, I haven't even discussed it with my realtor. Of course, I'm looking for a space with my reptiles as I look to buy or build. If I found something that needed an upgrade electrical box, then I could do that, but it already has that in an area with multiple outlets. Then that's less additional work. Looking forward to hearing all the answers, because there may be stuff I haven't considered yet, which we'll get to in the other question. Robert Pace said yes, they would choose somebody that was a reptile person as well. Christina Lynn Peter said no, I would never find one in Idaho. That's she's in the chat. She can't find anything in Idaho. So our buddy Megan Stabovich said no, I'd choose the realtor. That's how you say it.
That is not how you say her last name.
Look, I've got most of the right letters. She said no, I'd choose the realtor I felt confident would do their job the best. Having pets would just be a bonus. So what if the realtor could do the job and had pets? You could do that. Joe Smith said, I just bought a house in December. My realtor was aware of my reptiles, but their owning or not of them didn't play any factor in choosing them. They knew why we wanted the house with the floor plans we did, and that was enough for us. Our buddy Jack over in the nether regions said, if I had the option, I would choose one that also keeps reptiles, so that when I say I would need an extra room or space for my reptiles, they would understand what I mean by that.
Well, not only that, but then they could help look for your specific needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's hard to explain. And you know this. It's hard to explain to someone what you're looking for in a reptile room, because it's not the same as
a bedroom,
any other room that someone's looking for in a house.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
a bedroom converted to a reptile room is not the same thing as having a designated reptile room
or an open
space for your collection. Yeah.
Or like an open flex.
So like the game, the game
thing.
room flex space that we have.
Yeah.
It's not a great reptile room because it doesn't have a door you can close to it.
Correct.
Right. So it's open to the rest of the house, which as a reptile person, I don't really want my reptiles open to the rest of the house.
No. I want to be able to close them away.
Which we'll get into that when we get to what we're looking for and all that. But our buddy Danny said, no, I haven't really come across ones that do. And honestly, I'm more worried about finding a place suitable for my high energy dogs. As long as there's a place to put the enclosures for the reptiles, that's plenty. But she has like 5 reptiles. So Tyson Dallas says, it is the first question I ask anyone providing a service, from doctors to mechanics to realtors. I'm just kidding. I purchased a few homes over the years and that has never come up. You've had the wrong realtor, apparently.
I mean, it's important to be able to bond with people over your reptiles that you have. So I could see asking those questions.
So we've only ever bought one house, which we still currently fucking own and don't live in.
We do. It's okay though.
But
it's being paid for.
Okay. It's okay because my in-laws have a place to live. It's not okay because I was really wanting to fucking sell that house.
I know somebody. Just saying.
I got a house in Louisiana.
Our realtor there is actually someone who I used to teach with, and she no longer teaches. And she was very understanding. We literally were about to sign paperwork to put it on the market when we found out that my family was moving back and needed somewhere to stay. So she was don't worry about it. She said, you tell me when you're ready. So
Well, when we bought it, our realtor was another teacher.
that I worked with that we knew. So
but she was friends and she knew us, so she had an idea of what we were looking for too.
yeah.
And
Because
so,
they both, yeah.
And so that worked out great because at the time, and especially whenever we go to buy a house again, we needed a yard because we had tortoises.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, living around Houston, none of these houses have fucking yards. So if you own tortoises, it's very hard because everything is built on top of each other in all these newer neighborhoods. All the yards.
And in fact, that property in Louisiana, when she sent it to me, the first thing she said was, the yard in the back is perfect for tortoises. There's an enclosed garage that would be great for the snakes. Like, she knew.
Yeah, see, that's
great.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear something I just saw that was really funny?
Sure.
Somebody, my friend Frances Lee Pierce, she posted, somebody tell Puxatawny Phil I said his mama was a nutria.
Yeah, for no one that understands, it was 80 degrees 2 days ago.
Yep.
It was 35 degrees when I was driving home earlier.
Oh, the wind chill at recess today was 25.
I
told my children, I had one that didn't have a jacket. I said, baby, you can go upstairs and play on computers in my classroom. I trust you to be alone in my classroom. I said, I can't. You can't go outside.
JT and I had to go up to Magnolia today, and it was 27.
Yeah. I was like, guys, I'm literally setting a timer. You have 5 minutes. Go run as much as you physically can. And then we're going back inside. Like, I am cold and I hurt. We cannot stay out here.
Yeah, that cold hits different when you're old. When you get older.
The wind was just brutal.
I'm telling you, getting my sugar back in check with this fucking medicine.
That's my problem.
I get cold so much faster now than I used to.
And I talked to my doctor about that on Monday. And she's like, well, now that you're much closer to the range of no longer being a diabetic, you're going to be cold all the time because your body is functioning like it's.
I don't fucking like it. My feet are always cold.
I've worn socks more in the last 6 months than I have in the last 6 years of my life because my feet are cold.
Yeah,
all the time.
What I'm saying is, I want to eat chocolate and lose my feet and not get cold. That's what I want. Screw this getting healthy.
Speaking of losing feet, I saw this, like, I guess it wasn't really a meme. It was like a thread of text messages, and it was like archaeologists in like 3,000 years are gonna see all these bodies and be like, what happened to all these people's feet? And they're not gonna know what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be our society right there. Anyways, I digress.
But anyways, back to the real estate part. So yeah, it's tricky. Like, when we were looking for a house originally, when we bought the one in Louisiana, that was the one thing, was always trying to find what's going to be the snake room. Like, we can figure out bedrooms. That's fine. And we rented one house once that was perfect. And from what I figured was, the guy at one point was like a TV or VCR repairman. And he had closed in his single car garage and lined both sides with electrical plugs.
Oh, so, geez.
I had tons of electrical plugs, and it had built-in countertops that he put in there. So I fit cages all the way down it. And it was great.
That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, the house kind of was old and dated, but that part was cool. I mean, they had like 1970s avocado green stove, and when we peeled up the bathroom floor, there was originally carpet in there, and we peeled that up and found 1970s like lime green or green and yellow linoleum.
Oh yeah.
So that house was interesting. Oh, and that was also the one where our septic tank broke and they didn't replace it forever, and our backyard just basically became really green for a while.
So gross.
Yeah. But that is another one. I'm very careful whenever we go to buy a house again, is septic tanks. I'm like, I hated having that septic tank. But anyways, I want to get to the other question, because the other question we can get into some details, because there were a lot of what. There you go. You're on.
Sorry, thanks.
As a reptile keeper, what would be your must-haves list when considering buying a new home, and why? And a lot of these are similar. It's funny. The first one I'm going to mention here is also kind of my first one.
Saw that one. That was the only one I saw, and I was like, "Did James write this?"
No HOA. That's what I want. I want no fucking HOA. I hate them.
There's actually a big trend of people moving away from those now.
It may be the most un-American thing. It's definitely the most un-Texan thing, is to live in an HOA. To live somewhere where people tell you exactly how to live. Oh, yeah, gross. I hate it. But That was Timothy's first one, and it's a reoccurring thing on this list by people. A lot of people don't want an HOA. But we'll read through them, and then we'll talk to you about some of the ones that you think of and that you've had come across when you've shown houses to people. See, Nakia in the chat said she'll never live in an HOA again. It's like, I don't want to. It's definitely a hyperbole, but it's like fucking Nazis. Like, it's just like we get in so much trouble for having our trash can outside of the fence. And they're like, it's got to be in your backyard or garage. I'm sorry, it's 110 degrees in the summer. I'm not putting a trash can in my garage.
Yeah,
that's gonna smell.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah. Christina says they don't really exist in Idaho. That's because you don't have neighborhoods in Idaho, right? It's just one house, then like 70 acres of potatoes. I mean, who's going to tell you don't grow your potato that way? I don't. Timothy said no HOA and either spaced out or no neighbors. I'm all for that. I'm looking to buy or build by end of year, so having land and or a basement where I can build. What the fuck's a basement, Timothy?
Yeah,
I don't.
right?
We don't. What?
You're fiddling with it so much.
Well, then fine. I'll fidget with this one.
You're very fidgety tonight.
Because the little reptiles make great fidget.
I'm oversensitized from my day.
Anyways, back to this.
So sorry.
I'm always amazed, like people talk about having a basement, and I don't think they understand how horrible that would be if we tried to build basements down here.
So my relatives that are Canadian, I remember being in 8th grade, and we went to visit them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, all the kids just hang out in the basement." And I'm like, "What the hell's a basement?" Like I was like 13 and didn't know what a basement was, and because we don't have those in the South.
Definitely not near the coast.
Yeah, no. But anyways,
an indoor swimming pool.
That was my first experience with a basement.
God, I don't know. I don't know that I would want to keep my reptiles in a basement personally. I mean, think about it. Like when you got to clean your enclosures, you got to lug all that crap up the stairs and out, and you got to lug more crap down the stairs. I don't know that I want to deal with that.
Yeah,
that has been what I've hated about moving here to this house is my reptile room.
I hate them being upstairs. Yeah,
I hate my reptile room upstairs.
Yeah, mine was upstairs too.
But it's either they're upstairs or we move them downstairs into the master bedroom and we move upstairs with our 13-year-old. And I hate that thought more.
That's a worse idea.
No.
Yeah.
No, I need a bathroom attached to my bedroom.
Yeah.
So that was Timothy. This is not touchscreen. I got to remember that's not wrong computer. Christina, who's in the chat, says long blank walls or large rooms for reptiles that had multiple kinds of heat. Multiple kinds of heat. I mean,
the reptiles have multiple kinds of heat.
So you just need plugs.
Yeah. So lots of electrical outlets, I would think. Mm-hmm. That's how I understood.
Long walls are nice because it's very annoying when you get oddly shaped rooms that don't fit your cages.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you got to do way too much math to figure out how to fit everything in there.
Well, corners. I fucking hate corners because anyone that owns cages knows that like you're gonna end up, if you want to have your walls lined, there's gonna be a blank spot in the corner.
In the corner.
Yeah.
And depending on the cage, it's gonna be like a 2x2 blank spot where you could fit fucking cages or racks if you could get to it.
And God forbid something gets out because that's where they're going because you can't get to it.
Yeah. Megan's slab of bacon bits said good insulation, a large backyard for the tortoises, natural gas in an area with minimal to no keeping restrictions, a room large enough to keep all my indoor species separate from my cats. That doesn't sound at all like where she lives.
It doesn't.
She bought a house. That doesn't seem to fit her house.
Well, I think the neighborhood, I don't know that the neighborhood was as big as it was when she bought that house either, though. So,
but there's still no yard when those houses were built.
Oh, yeah, no.
Darren Watson, who was in the chat.
I don't know that she had tortoises at that point, though.
No.
I think the tortoises are a new addition.
Yeah. But she has redfoots. She can fit those in her yard.
She's got the giant. What kind of white dog is that again? Is it a mountain dog or something?
Is that a Newfoundland?
No, it's not a Newfoundland.
And white.
Pyrenees. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's what she's got.
That's what she got.
He's huge.
Too much fucking hair. Darren says, I want a large basement to house a saltwater croc and cobras. You can't make that comment, Darren, when you own two snakes.
2 snakes. That's all you got.
2. The only person on earth that owns only 2 snakes.
But we're going hardcore with jump into the saltwater.
But he lives up north. He could probably own a saltwater croc in the basement. Although he lives in New Jersey. They have weird fucking rules. He says, I'll feed the croc leafy greens to keep him or her a manageable size. That way I can teach preschoolers how to properly free handle venomous snakes and crocs. That's the plan. That's the American dream right there, Darren. Free handling cobras around kids.
Good times. No.
What could go wrong? Laura said having natural gas lines available so that I could have a full home generator for power outages, plus a fireplace and stove and oven. That I agree with.
That's nice.
After having many hurricanes where I did not have power, a whole home generator would be amazing. Let's see. Jamie Lee Colzer said land without heavy city regulations, extra buildings separate from the main house, and extra rooms in the house, possibly a basement. This person lives in the north. If that was a typical thing in whatever region I'm shopping in, and appropriately upgraded service for power. She said, why? So that the space isn't an issue when it comes to housing for every situation. Quarantine, rodent room, separate from reptiles. Gross. Don't do your own rodents. That's just nasty. Just buy some.
Don't do them in the house.
Don't do them. Ugh. Not happening. So yeah, they want different rooms. She wants different rooms so they have different places to do it all. So I get that. Or you could just do like me and just have snakes and reptiles in every room, and then just quarantine everything in your bedroom. Because Katie loves when I quarantine stuff in the bedroom.
So much. I love it so much.
I know you love it when I quarantine stuff in the bedroom and in the closet in the bedroom.
Yes. Or when something new comes in and then we have to start quarantine all over again.
Yay.
When I thought I was getting my closet back.
It's empty now.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Our friend Danielle said outlets out the wazoo, a well-insulated room, and no HOA.
Did you talk about that one house with all the plugs?
Yes.
That was a nice house.
Well,
that room was nice.
We talked about remember we were talking about the caved in? We talked about the caved in. You were right there. We mean
Oh, yeah. I had to blow my nose.
You were part of the conversation.
I walked away to blow my nose.
You asked questions. But anyways. Keith also says no HOA or neighbors in a climate where I can have a lot of species outside year round. Jessica Coleman said outside the city limits, no HOA, no animal related deed restrictions, and let me be trashy with my lizards in peace. Also said plenty of breakers because I'm tired of playing breaker roulette.
Tripped a breaker the other day when I turned our microwave on. So James went outside, corrected the issue. I turned the microwave on again and it was fine. Literally did nothing different. I have no idea what happened.
Stupid rental houses. Teddy Dalton said must not be in an HOA or area where building animal rooms would be a pain with city or county planning. Catherine says electrical outlets with 3 prongs. And then David Kelly said a basement, which means he's obviously up north because we don't do those. Yeah, most of those are on my list. So what have you found how many houses have you sold to people that you also know have reptiles, and what have they looked for, and have you been able to find that?
Yeah, actually, so I just kind of recently, I guess within the past year or so, maybe past 12 months or so, that was when I started going down the avenue of, Reptile Realtor. And I was like, man, I got this huge community of cool people that, all know me and stuff. So why not specialize with them? I get it. I know I have reptiles too. I understand. In that year or in that time frame, I don't know, maybe 5. I've done 5 transactions for people that have, our niche needs for animal keeping. One of them, in fact, he lived out of state. He lives in California, and he raises tortoises. And he bought 2 30 plus acre pieces of land down in South Texas. And we did a lot. He came prepared. I mean, he already did research on, natural grasses and predators and all of that. And he's going to have a freaking tortoise ranch down there before it's all over with. So that guy, and, he would fly in and I'd drive on down there to Alice and meet him, and we would go walk property. And it's kind of fun too. I typically bond with my clients. So we're friends. We're friends that are shopping together through the process. And I don't know, that's just my personality, I guess. Yeah, but we're walking the property, looking at all the different signs of animals, oh, these are deer tracks, or oh, these are hog tracks. Yeah. And I was showing him stuff because, didn't know hog tracks or whatever. So I was able to show him hog tracks, and we were identifying different natural, native plants on the property. So, I mean, it was a really cool experience. And I always walk with my snake hook. I've had other clients who weren't reptile and snake people. And they're like, "What's that thing?" I was like, "I don't know if you even want to know, buddy."
It's for our safety. That's all you need to know.
I don't know that I should tell you. It's just my walking stick, man.
There you go. Got a cool hook on the end, just in case.
That's right. And if I have to pull out my ninja skills, just step back.
Yes. That's funny.
Yeah, I keep that sucker in my car, like tucked away in the back window. I don't know what else was that. Oh gosh, I kind of went down my own path on that. But yeah, there's been a handful of people that I've helped. So, that particular one, he was looking for land and he's going to build it out how he wants, with enclosures and paddocks, tortoise paddocks, if you will. And then there's other ones that we've looked at houses. And I think by being a person who gets it, understands it, I can go into a house with them and see potential for what they tell me their needs are.
Yeah.
I said, I get to know my clients, if they have needs to keep, herds of dogs or goats and chickens, and they need a space for their rodents and then their snakes. Like, I can go in with them and see the potential of a property. Maybe it doesn't have all that right now, but I see the space where a reptile shack, a rodent shack could be built, and it could tie into this electrical, connector here, or be, conduit ran under the ground and connected there, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I think just going in there with an understanding of what your client wants, what their keeping needs are. It may not have all of it as you're walking into the property, but just being able to help them spot that potential of what a property could be for them, with, maybe an electrician coming in and adding in, a better breaker box, add more breakers, add better electrical outlets, more electrical outlets in the designated area. I mean, it just helps to have a friend that can see things that maybe you're not seeing, and
Absolutely.
that's the approach I take to it. And I think that's the value I bring to, our reptile community that have, are thinking about buying or selling in Texas. In fact, there's even been times, as far as selling properties goes. Now, I didn't have this listing and I wasn't the agent on it, but there was a person in our community, lives, I guess, around the Houston area. He called me and he was like, his realtor told him he had to move his snake collection out. And he had an expansive collection of animals, significant. And I was like, you should have called me, man. Obviously you should have called me talk. But then it was like, well, try this, do this, put a sign on the door, let them know. And then if you have to, drape, not sheets, but cloths, maybe like drop cloths or something over your rack. And there's things to get around it. But, he called me asking what should I do, even though I wasn't his realtor, but I hooked him up. So I helped him out with ideas.
You helped John Feely, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I found him
Okay.
a house up in North Texas, like north of Dallas.
Yeah, because they made a big move from El Paso to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had him on the show 3 years ago, James. It was at NARBC.
Yeah,
because that just popped up in my memories a couple of days ago. That was 3 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah. His whole family, they're such cool people. I really enjoyed helping them. And I do that. I travel too. I don't just work around the Houston area. In fact, I have clients, a listing coming up in Seguin. So if anybody's wanting to move to Seguin, holla.
You're about to
no way on this one. I was doing some shameless self-promotion here, but
Absolutely. That's what the podcast is for.
So
you're about to help me find a new house. So
yeah. We're gonna start looking for something for you pretty soon too.
Yeah, I got to move by the end of March, so I'm not in a huge rush right this minute, but I probably will start this next week. Really looking.
Yeah, we'll get on it. We'll talk about it and get on it and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So in the chat, Darren says, "Do you guys notify your homeowners insurance and the keep reptiles?" Darren, shut your mouth. People don't need to know stuff.
Oh, thank you. Just out of my personal business, sir.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The way I see it, my homeowner's insurance also doesn't know that I have 2 dogs.
They do now.
Well,
No, we don't live there. We don't live there. We don't have. There's no
No.
dogs.
my homeowner's
Oh.
insurance doesn't have any animals in that house.
That's true.
Christina said what she meant when she was talking about the heat. She said she meant like electrical heat for one room, but she can keep the rest of the house cooler. If I did it, I'd put a split unit in my reptile room.
That would make sense.
And I'd like to, if I was going to really do it, I'd like to have it its own separate box and everything. Its own.
But you also don't do ambient heat
She's not talking about that.
for the whole room. But we know
she's talking-
so many people that do.
But she's talking about living in the frigid north of Idaho. She,
I
she
know.
needs to be able to heat
Yeah,
or cool a room.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
We just close the air vent.
ambient heat is not fat guy friendly. Doing ambient heat, that's ridiculous. Plus, I keep stand boas, so there's no ambient heat. But I'm not doing that.
No.
Those babies like hot spots of 95 degrees. So
Yeah, no,
Oh
not
God, no!
happening.
You know, he would melt, man.
no, it's not happening. But yeah, I would totally want a separate breaker box just for that room, and I would want a split unit just for that, so I can control air and heat in there.
Yep. And that's
But,
one of the things I kind of look out for and suggest, like, hey, I'm like, oh, well, how much is this gonna, how much is this gonna affect the electric bill? I'm like, if we do it right, and you can put your unit on this wall, you've got space enough outside, or plug it into, like I said, you gotta kind of know.
You gotta
know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you've got to know the potential. And that's, that's one of the things this weekend, James and I managed to get away, just the two of us. And we were like, just shopping. Like we just went and like ran errands and had a good time. And it was funny though, because we were walking through, I forget where we were, the container store. And, we always go because he's like looking for, okay, what could I use in the snake room? And because you never know what you're going to find when you walk through the container store. And it just makes me laugh every time because it doesn't matter where we are. He will see something and he's like, oh, I can do this or this. And it can become this or this.
The container store gets me because I got into the hobby in like 2000, 2002, somewhere in there. So like all the racks and caging and everything wasn't a thing yet. So you had to make all your cages and racks if you wanted them. So the container store or like Home Depot or Lowe's at Christmas time is like, oh, look at all the shit I can do. Look at all the snake cages I can make. So like now when I go to a container store, that part of my brain's like, look at that. And then I have to remind myself, oh yeah, I don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to be container visionaries any longer.
Yeah. I mean, they do have some really great, really super clear.
But then I'm like, what would you even use that for? Like he just has this vision to be able to see all these potentials.
I remember one time we were in Walmart, me and the person that we don't name anymore. And
she who shall not be named.
And like 5 things we saw were like, oh, those would make good hides. That would make a good this. And then finally, that would make a great water dish. And I was like, fuck. Everything you look at, you just like analyzing. Can I use this for my snakes?
Yeah.
Will it work for rats? Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I go to garage sales and estate sales. I'd be going through there looking for old things like old dishes and old, I don't know,
I guess
things that could be water bowls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's with anybody with any hobby though, is you go and
find ways you can use it.
How can I
Through
be resourceful?
Through the lenses of whatever it is you're interested in.
My mom goes to a lot of estate sales, like a lot of estate sales.
I need to get connected with your mom because I love going to them things.
She's like friends with the people that run them and they let her in early. And
yeah, I did a few.
For a lady who don't have no damn money, she sure does go to a lot of them.
Oh, hey, there is a rush in wheeling and dealing. Let me tell you.
I mean, she just got. I have her look on the lookout for taxidermy when she sees, and I'm like, the worse it is, the better. And she found a bobcat a couple of weeks ago that was in real bad condition, and she got him down to like $20, and bought it, and I gave it to John Grant's wife, Callie, and he went and got it, and like the fur's falling off of it and shit. So I don't think it's going to be any good, but she's found me some cool stuff. I've told her basically, if it's taxidermy and it's under $100, just buy it. I'll take it.
The only thing that sucks about that with taxidermy is like, it would be all right if the hair and skin were all falling apart if the bones were still there.
Yeah.
Because then you can just strip it down and take the bones. But since it's all mold underneath,
on a form.
Yeah, on a form, it's not.
Nakia said her parents run an estate sale company.
That means that local Nikki.
Where are you at, Nakia?
What's up,
she's
girl?
here.
Where are you at?
He is in Pearland.
She's in Pearland, so.
Okay, that's local. That's so far.
So Nakia, what I'm hearing is that we're going to
All right, Nakia, send me a friend request, girl.
I'm hearing. I'm
Carpet Fest.
She was a carpet.
Yeah, I'm seeing estate sales and brunches in our future.
She said all over Houston.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I've been holding that on me, girl.
Yeah, I
Text
want to go
my
find.
mom and see if she's ever heard of them.
I want to go look at dead people's stuff.
I know. You find some really cool quilting stuff at estate sales. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl, we need to get together. I have so much fabric that I don't even.
No. Erin, shut your mouth. What you don't see is there's a closet right over here full of fabric.
I've been getting rid of that fabric though.
On top of that, there's a garage.
No.
Oh.
There's no fabric in the garage.
There's none in there now.
None in the garage. All the fabric is in the house.
Jesus Christ. No.
Thank you so much. Hey, you worry about your snake math, and I worry about my fabric math. Isn't that what we talked about last week?
She's got a good point, James. She got you there.
But snake math will bring back money.
So this brings me joy and happiness, James. Joy and
places.
happiness. That is what is important to your well-being in
Yeah,
this
that
house.
extends your health and life there, James, if she's joyous and happy.
Or it extends my health and life since you said I can't die before you.
You can't die before me.
Okay, then. I need fabric.
Quilts it is. Fabric.
No, actually, there's a
Nikki is not helping James.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't do it to one of my quilts, but there's like I've seen several people that take old quilts that they find at estate sales that are in really good condition and they turn them into like bags or coats or different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't bring myself to cut up a quilt that I have made. So I'm like, if I could find one that somebody else made, then I wouldn't feel guilty about using it to make something else. So that's what I need.
Fuck their memories.
I can't do it with something I've made. Or like I have like a quilt that my grandmother made. Like
the one that's falling apart.
It's
itself to pieces.
I will let you know, or I'll have you know rather, that in October when I go, March when I go on the quilt retreat, there is actually a specialist who like specializes in restoring old quilts that is going to be at the retreat, and she's going to teach me how to restore it correctly.
That thing has more holes than fabric.
Shh, it's been well loved. It's my go-to when I don't feel good. And that's my comfort blanket. But I haven't used it in a very long time because it's falling apart.
And it's falling apart.
It's so ugly too. It is Pepto-Bismol Barbie pink. And it was hand quilted. And it's just
those are two different pinks in case you're wondering.
Oh, it's both. It's that bad. But I love it. It's like one of my favorite things I own.
All right, so let's get back to the must-have.
Sorry.
Okay, back to the list. Sorry, sidetracked.
So for me, a good single room with lots of plugs. I've always thought that if the room was big enough, like I would have liked in our old house if we were still there, plugs from the ceiling.
Yeah, we talked about that too, about like coming and
because that room was big enough to have a middle aisle of cages, and there's nothing worse than having to run a damn extension cord across a room.
Correct. Whereas you could drop it through the ceiling and it's a different ball game.
Yeah, I like those retractable ones you can.
We talked about that too.
So,
but then we moved to Texas.
That'd be cool, but you gotta make sure you're not shopping for 2-story houses because that'll be a pain in the ass if you.
No.
Yeah, this was not a 2-story house.
And we will not be in a 2-story house ever again. This is we live in this one because we needed to rent a place, and this was where we could find. But
excuse me.
And our kid wanted stairs. She was like, "I want to live in a house with 2 stairs." I'm like, "Well, if we're
with
gonna
2
rent,
stairs
or with 2 floors," I'm like, "If we're gonna rent, now would be the time to live that fantasy because it's not going to be a permanent thing."
Yeah.
Well, we got to sell the other house before we can buy another. What are you?
I used to worry in my old house that if anything ever happened, like if I had to have knee surgery, all of my full baths were upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would have been like, well, I guess I'm taking a bath in the backyard.
Just go outside and hose down.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done. Probably come over to your house and take a shower because at least you have a full bath downstairs.
Just treat you like Tommy Boy and just spray you down on the outside.
Yep, you can do the whole maniac dance and everything.
So So what are some things that, Erin, that you think that people should be on the lookout for when they're looking for a place?
Oh my gosh.
That's a very broad
Well, some
question.
key. So
Yeah,
let's go
it's
snake room. If
thank
they
you.
want to set up a snake room only. Let's go with that. What are some things they should keep in mind that you think that you've seen? Because I'm sure you've seen a lot of houses also where you've been like, man, this would be a horrible house for someone who owns snakes.
Like the one we're currently in.
This house isn't horrible, but it's not great. But there are some where, like, if it's all open floor plan, that's a horrible snake house.
I don't know. I mean, obviously you would have, I don't know if an open floor plan would. I mean, you just use your available wall space to put your enclosures on, or if you have creative ways to put enclosures that are like 360, viewing, if you have species that you can have that with, not like snakes or something, like cool lizards or something, that might be neat, placed in the middle of an open area. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I'd say
I was thinking if you have
older
snakes,
houses.
Yeah.
Older houses kind of freak me out for people that, are going to be having a large electrical pole, on the house, just because old wiring, aluminum wiring would scare the bejesus out of me for a heavy electrical load, with enclosures and heat that might be needed for certain species and stuff. But just make sure there's enough space. The HOA is another.
Yes. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing you should do is rip out all carpet. Carpet is gross. I used to be a fan of carpet until I first moved into a house without carpet, and I was like, this is so much more amazing than a house with carpet. Like, get some rugs if you need to, but man, it is so much better. Especially like I see people that post pictures online of like their snake room. It's a snake room, and it's a carpeted snake room. Like, oh, it's gross. Just cleaning cages, things are falling. It's gonna get into the carpets. And then like sometimes things leak.
Pets in general is kind of yucky. I have my stairs and my upstairs in my own house is carpeted, and I hate it. Oh my god! So I've got the reptiles, but I've also got cats. I got hairless cats and a Maine Coon cat, and holy shit, there's sand everywhere. I mean, I have to keep it clean, but it catches in the carpet. It's just it's gross to have it in the carpet because you can vacuum and you're never sure if you ever got it all.
That was the first thing we did when we bought our house, and I felt kind of bad because they had just carpeted the entire house minus kitchen and bathrooms. They had just put down brand new carpet, and the first thing we did was came in and in the hallways, living room, and what became the snake room, ripped up all the brand new carpet and padding. And then we had a problem because we put down vinyl flooring, which was great, like the little plank flooring, but then come to find out, like water was seeping up through the concrete.
They hadn't sealed the concrete correctly.
They didn't.
And so they had to come back in, rip up the flooring, and then seal our concrete, and then put flooring back in, which they covered because they sealed it up. But the problem was after they had put in our flooring, we had glue like just seeping up in between the planks.
Those floors were such
because it wasn't drying because it was staying wet. But now it's great. Now they've sealed it. It's a wonderful place. So if anybody wants to buy a house to keep snakes in Alexandria, in Pineville, Louisiana, hit me up. I may have a place for you, so I can buy me a house. Jason Moore said, my wife's grandfather built our house in '83, and it's all hardwood and tile, and makes cleanup so much easier. Yes,
that sounds amazing.
Kia says, my feet get cold. It's why I like carpet, but I definitely wouldn't want to carpet.
I have house
buy
slippers.
House slippers, Nakia. Get house slippers. Just
Amazon is your friend.
It's amazing how less sick I get since we moved out of houses with carpet.
Our allergies definitely appreciate it.
If you have ever worked construction and torn carpet out of a house, you will never want carpet in your house again. Even in like nice, clean houses, it is disgusting.
Just the skin cells alone that just build up in that carpet.
And it doesn't matter how much you clean. It doesn't matter. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get dusty. It's going to have allergen issues. You're just not.
And it's so much easier to replace a rug than your entire carpet.
Yeah.
When I used to do flooring, I would wear a Tyvek suit whenever I ripped carpet out of houses because, oh god, when you pick it up and you look at the bottom and you see how many stains are on it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You have no clue what those stains are.
Yep.
Nope. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they had dogs, I don't care how good the dog was. It's nasty underneath there.
Oh yeah, no, our stairs here are the only thing that's carpeted, and it's the one place that little fucking rat dog my daughter has wants to piss all the time.
Yeah.
Oh god. Pets and kids, man, they'll wreck some carpet.
Yep.
I agree. I'm trying to get rid of both of them.
Oh, you hush.
4.5 years.
God.
She's counting down too. You'll both be fine.
So Robert, you're the one most recently going to be looking for a house, and I know you would like to get back into some reptiles. What are some things you're hoping to find in a house besides it just being a house?
Sheldon needs a yard.
Yeah, Sheldon needs a yard for sure. Because I'm going to get him a friend once I get a yard.
Oh, nice. No carpet, apparently.
No carpet.
No carpet. We covered that.
Yeah. I'd like to set up a reptile room again, maybe. I'm pretty happy with my tortoises, and I'll probably get 1 or 2 snakes again. I'm not ever going to go, hundreds of snakes again, probably.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be more about how many 3D printers can I fit in the extra room.
That's true.
So I need the same. I'm looking for the same thing. Lots of outlets on different circuits, or something like that.
So
I am more picky about the area than I am about the actual layout of the house. Like I'll compromise on the layout of the house. I'm very picky about safety and security. Mm-hmm. So I'm more worried about, because I'm still going to probably be in the city of Houston. And there's certain areas that I've seen some houses and I'm like, that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house and the rent's pretty good. And then I look and I'm like, oh, and I do this Google Street View and I go down the street and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why there's 14 fucking abandoned cars on the street. And yeah. So for me, it's more about location than anything. That's, why I chose this apartment, because the parking is underground. It's secure parking. It's like a hotel. So you never have to go outside. You never have to worry about people, walking in the hall that don't belong here. So, like I said, location.
So that's one thing where it's going to be hard when it comes time for us to try and find a house, because we got spoiled with the location and the layout of the house we have in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. I sit on 2 lots of land in the middle of it. So I'm not right next to anybody. Plus, the problem with buying a house here in any of the areas where we want to live outside of Houston is they're all relatively newer areas. So a lot of the houses are relatively new build houses. And I'm not really a fan of new build houses. I like houses that were built in like the 70s. Give me like 70s or so brick houses. I need something with character, ranch style house, story. I love weirdness. I love weird shaped houses. Like if you can give me a house that has weird ass rooms that don't make sense, fucking love it.
Like your house in Louisiana.
You walk in and you're like, what is the point of this? Like, why is this light switch here? What does it go to? Like, that's the kind of shit I like.
Yeah, see, that house in Louisiana got spoiled because there was a 2-car garage that they completely closed in. Room. That's another thing. Is a lot of people they want snake outbuilding. They want to be able to walk out to their snake building. I don't. I have a simple rule that I want to be able, when my snakes are pregnant, I want to be able to go check on them, see if they've had babies while I'm naked. So I actually had a plan, though. We could still get that external building. I don't want to have to get dressed. And we can put a long arm quilting machine out there. And then that's going to be what I do when Joe goes to college. I already have a plan. It's going to be great. But those things are expensive. And you've already said your hobbies, you don't like to try and make money in your hobbies. And this would be different because you can make money off the machine and I can use it for fun. That seems like more work for me. Mm-hmm. You like those side hustles. It's fine. I got a side hustle. I can hear it in the other room right now. I hear it too. See, we can have a separate building for your little 3D print farm. No, because then I can't go change things on the printer naked. Oh my God. The big thing is just put on pants, James. Just put on pants. It's 30 degrees outside. Just pants right now are not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Fair point. Fair point.
Move
my
quickly.
Feet are cold and I have wool socks on and shoes, and my feet are currently cold.
Speaking of side hustle, keep the conversation going. Be right back.
Why? Where are you? Do you have to? Oh, he's going to get stuff that he's printed recently. Well, if he leaves, I don't have to talk about house stuff anymore. I could talk about quilt stuff again.
I have a whole table of stuff back here getting ready for the show this weekend.
Apparently, that's what he's done. He's taken over my sewing table with stuff because he's packing up to go for the show this weekend too. What'd you get?
No, I didn't. I had to put something on sports mode to speed up the printer.
Oh,
It got to the point where I could speed it
I
up.
thought you were bringing something.
No, I'm printing these boxes and I can't do the bottom of it on sports mode or else it fucks up. But when it does the walls, I can let it run extra fast.
Oh, gotcha.
So I gotta get that thing printing so I can print some more shit.
That's funny.
Anyways, I lost what I was. I need a house, is what I'm saying.
We'll get one eventually.
It doesn't feel that way.
Oops.
I miss my house.
I know.
Yeah, so the story is we bought that house, loved it, and then some asshole in Texas convinced us to move a year later.
It wasn't even a full year. It was
That was
not
me.
even a full year. We signed on June 5th, and in February of the same calendar year, or the same 12-month span, as I'm taking the last painting out of a box, someone goes, "What do you think about moving to Texas?" And I just put the painting right back in the box and counted to 10 and then turned around and said, "I'm sorry, could you repeat yourself, please?" Because I think you just said we should move to Texas.
I showed them the pay scale for teachers here compared to the pay scale for teachers there, and that's all it took.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean,
And then inflation happened. And
oh, that's
Yeah,
I was saying it's not even that amazing here either, but I mean, I guess it was more.
it was a $40,000
Significantly better.
increase to our house.
Yeah.
Our household funds got $40,000 more a year.
then
And
inflation happened and it doesn't feel like it.
But
and the cost of living was almost the same between
it
Houston
is.
and
And it
Alexandria.
still is almost the same, which is still good that we made the move, because had we not made the move, we would not be able to afford things because of inflation.
Yeah.
Like so many of our friends that
Yeah,
we know.
we
that-
complain, but like I have 3 3D printers in there and we get to go to concerts and we get to do
we
stuff.
do stuff all the time. And like, but yeah, we wouldn't be able to afford regular life in Louisiana, let alone the life that we have discovered in the last 4 years that we've lived in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I wouldn't get to hate on Oklahoma as much if I still lived over there.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of friends who are in 2-teacher households, and one, if not both of them, have a second job just to be able to make ends meet, because they just make that much less as teachers in Louisiana. So yeah, we may complain about things, but
No, I just miss my house.
I just miss our tortoises.
I do miss my tortoises.
That's the big thing, is our tortoises we don't have because we don't have a yard for them.
Yeah, no, they would eat all the grass in that yard in about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So
Their pen at our old house was bigger than our current backyard is here.
it was like 5 times bigger than our current backyard.
Oh yeah, we measured it when we moved. I was like, God, this is so small. And then we walked it off, and I'm like, this is smaller than what they currently have. It's like half the size of the section of the yard we gave them at our house in Louisiana, because we were on an acre there. And an acre
yeah.
doesn't seem like much, but when your house is built in the middle of the 2 lots that equal an acre, it makes a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, when you have to mow it, it seems like a lot,
Oh
doesn't
my
it?
God, I hated mowing that yard.
I couldn't. Darn.
I know.
That is one thing I've been spoiled about renting is we haven't had to mow.
He's allergic to grass. He can't mow without like possible hospitalization. It's so bad.
Oh my God.
I normally make him leave the house when I would cut grass. Like he would have to go somewhere else so that I could mow and shower and be done before he came home. And then we would still risk him having to end up taking Benadryl because his face would swell so bad.
It's a good thing you weren't born 100 years ago, James. You would have just like died at like 3 years old.
Oh no, I was born to my parents and they made me still mow the fucking grass until the doctor finally said, "Hey, stop making him mow the grass." After like the 3rd trip to the hospital, they're like, Don't make him do that anymore."
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got a fucking doctor's
See, I like doing yard work, so it works out well for
My
us.
dad made me do it, and then he bought me this paper mask. That doesn't do shit, by the way. Putting a paper mask on, then you're just sweating, can't breathe, and you end up not being. It's
You tried Pee Wee football for a little bit too. That was around the same time you discovered your grass allergy.
and Pee Wee football was also around the time I discovered I was too lazy to play Pee Wee football, which sucked. I had one good Pee Wee
You're
football
built
game.
like a football player too.
I had
like,
one good Pee Wee football game, and it was the last one.
That's so funny.
The last one where I tackled the shit out of somebody. I was like, "This is fun," and then the season was over. I was like, "Oh, all right, it's not fun enough to do it again."
So funny.
Shit, I almost quit band the first day of band camp. My first day of band camp, I was on the sidelines puking.
I don't think I've heard this story. How have I not heard this story?
It was bad because it was. I mean, for anybody in the it's our band camps are always during the summer, so
so it's 100.
So it's 100
degrees outside,
and everybody's like, "We'll just drink some water." That's not how band camp works. Because what happens is your band director's like, "All right, one more time, and then water break. All right, one more time, and then a water break. All right, let's do that one more time, and then a water break. And one more time turns into 10 more times, and then you're just trying not to die."
Now they have all these laws in place where you can't do that anymore.
Well, here,
like kids like that.
Here, kids can't like practice outside sports in certain temperatures.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's why the band director at the high school where our daughter's going to go next year, he was telling us at the parent meeting, he was like, "Look, all of our practices are in the evening, like from 6 to 8 o'clock at night, because of all of the new laws that they've placed in just the last year with rules about them being outside." He's like, "And marching band doesn't have an indoor facility that we can use."
Kids dying of heat strokes. They worry about that stuff.
They march on freaking concrete here. That's why.
When I played Little League football, I was never one of the, believe it or not, back then, I was never one of the kids that was anywhere close to the maximum weight. But the guys that were, they would put black trash bags on them in August and have them run laps.
We have a kid in our neighborhood.
No, I played Pee Wee football with a kid that I grew up with. His name was Chauncey. At Pee Wee football was what? Probably 6th grade?
Yeah.
5th grade?
5th, 6th grade.
So at that point, Chauncey was high school size. So much so that every time we'd show up to a game, our coach always had to have the conversation with the team that, no, he is this old. He can play. And then Chauncey's dad would show up. And Chauncey's dad, I mean, I was smaller, but Chauncey's dad had to weigh 350 and be like 6'5", 6'6".
He's just big guy.
Crap.
Chauncey broke one of our teammates' arms because he fell on it during practice.
Oh my God.
Like, just snapped it.
Oh my goodness.
This past August, I was coming home from working in my classroom one day, and there was a high school kid in a black trash bag with like weights on running through our neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, that poor football player. Like, I knew exactly what he was doing.
What was happening?
Like,
Oh, poor kid.
I couldn't imagine if coaches did that today to 5th and 6th graders.
They put them in jail.
They
put them in jail.
They would, 100%.
Arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy. I also don't get, like, every high school here marches their marching band on fucking concrete.
In a parking lot.
Every parking lot, all these high schools have the lines painted out, and that's where
Erin, if you haven't figured it out now, we get way off topic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I do the same thing. It's fine.
Just, I would have hated marching on asphalt in 100-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like parking on it and walking to the
I
store.
was just thinking, I don't even like
leaving
my house when it's like that.
But all of them, even because they just built Iowa Colony, and Iowa Colony's built out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You could have found a patch of grass for them to march on, but no, they have to march in the parking lot.
James, do you remember how many cottonmouths we found right around where they were building that school?
I'll march around cottonmouths. Get me off the damn concrete.
Yeah. We shared a field with our soccer team at my high school in South Alabama.
My high school, we had our own band field. It was
we
great.
were not that lucky, but
I mean, our football team sucks. Our band was probably the one.
Oh, there you go then.
Our football team went 0-34. In case anybody's wondering, that's 3.5 years of football. So, anyways, I think that we got way off of
it's okay.
Of talking about real estate. People buy a house because this is a great market to buy a house in. How bad has that been for you? Like that is it's a very it's got to be a very tricky thing because you're like the moment you're like, oh good, houses are going well. It's kind of like reptiles. Remember, everybody's like, oh, we can all sell reptiles. Everybody's buying reptiles, and all of a sudden, oh, that's right, because they were given free money, and now no one can buy reptiles because no one has any money because they're buying eggs.
Yeah, we're crying about buying eggs now. Yeah, I mean it's just like everything, like you were saying. You know, there's cycles. You know, and right now it seems that we're in more.
That did not sound good.
That was one of your cats.
I heard the cat, and then I heard a whole bunch of stuff fall.
He jumped up on the edge of my desk onto one of my notebooks and a stack of papers, and
no.
Oh yeah, that was a mess.
Goodness.
But he's fine. He took off. But no, it's like I mean, the past 2 years they've been pretty rough for real estate, honestly. I mean, with the interest rates being what they've been, there's inventory is higher than it has been in a long time, but you just push through. I mean, if you're a professional and you're one of the people that's serious about what you do, you push through and you just do it. I guess.
Yeah.
You just do it. You just push through. You stay in touch with your people that you've, helped in the past. I mean, I always kind of do that anyway. I always, I remain friends because like that, I make friends during the process. I stay in touch with everybody, check in on them, see how they're doing, and see if they know of anybody. And referral business is really the way to go. So because you don't have to spend so much on marketing and all of that.
Yeah.
Referral business, people trust, they worked with you or they know you and they know who you are, what you're about.
Yes.
And then they send their friends and their family because they know you're going to do a good job. And that's really the way I like to work, is by that word of mouth. You don't want to do
the old school plaster your face on the side of a bus or a bench?
No, I don't want anybody sitting on my photo or whatever.
It's turning into a different kind of podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go down that path. I realized what I was about to step into.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's segue. I have not watched the video yet, but on our Facebook discussion board group, Travis Wyman posted a video of sea turtles that dance when they get excited about snack time. I haven't watched the video yet, but it made me wonder what else has been posted on our Facebook discussion page this week.
I didn't even see that.
It was literally while we were recording.
Oh, so let me reload the page.
Yeah,
I gotta quit updating stuff while I'm doing the podcast because I already loaded things on here.
Yeah.
It making me work twice.
Because I get alerts, and I got an alert for it.
Also, a reminder of the Reptile Gumbo podcast cruise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really it, right? We're just all going, and then some of y'all can also book it and go hang out with us.
Oh no, this was 6 hours ago.
So, but go on our cruise. When's our cruise, Katie?
October.
That's 11th through 16th.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 12th, but I knew that wasn't right.
So we're going. Robert's coming. Nathan Holcomb.
Like we're officially booked.
Nathan Holcomb booked.
And booked his flight here and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
So one of our listeners will be there. So anybody listening, if you want to come hang out in October on a cruise.
Joe and Brittany from Reptile Culture said they're going to book.
That's right. Joe and Brittany from Reptile Culture.
It's really just going to be a fun, kid-free vacation.
JT down enough that they're going to book.
Cool.
Getting money out of JT is hard.
We should have 8 to 10 people probably.
That's so exciting. We will need to try to all get together so we can try to get like dinner times together at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way we can at least see each other.
And we're going to try and do, Katie's got to check on it, but we're probably going to do an excursion where we can save baby sea turtles.
And Katie's going to cry the whole time.
It's going to be so bad, y'all. You just don't know.
Erin, you don't know, but a couple of years ago, we were at the Corpus show and James went and talked to, what's her name?
Amanda
from the
Amanda Terry.
Texas Sea Life Center.
Yeah.
And got to take Katie out to see the sea turtles, and Katie cried the whole time.
Oh, how cool.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing them in a tank, like up close.
Because she was like, you can touch them. And I'm like, it's so bad.
She just started bawling. I had no clue.
Expect that much emotion.
And Robert might know about this too, because he's been here in the area for a while. Texas A&M, I think in Galveston, or there's another like the sea turtle, whatever people are down there that take and rehab sea turtles and stuff.
They do. Our friend Megan is actually trained through their organization. You can go through special classes to basically be on call. So that if somebody reports that there's a sea turtle or that they find a nest or something like that, then you report to the call. The problem is the trainings always conflict with something else that I have on my schedule. So I haven't been able to do that since we moved here.
Well, then you need to clear your schedule for this because you're going to love this. They have like the baby turtle release. Do you know about that?
Oh, so they have Nest Fest, which is in March, and it used to be on our spring break. And so this year, which is the first year that I planned on going, it is not our spring break.
Sounds like you're getting a little.
Yeah. I was a little bitter about that release date and our issue with dates because I can't take off to go because I'm taking off for another thing that month.
Something else. Oh, darn.
Yeah, no, It has worked with our spring break every year since we moved here, except for this year. And this was the first year that I was going to be able to go.
Well, you need to double check on the thing on the excursion and see if we can, because I don't even know if when they're hatching at that point or what. Mm-hmm. So you need to find out. And if so, I think it's like $50 a person.
Yeah, it was not expensive at all.
And you can go fight birds off and save baby sea turtles.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
Karate chop a seagull.
Yeah. So basically what you're doing is you are double checking all the nests that hatched the night before. And you're going back through and making sure that the turtles were able to get out. If there are any unhatched eggs, then they actually collect those.
And you're karate chopping seagulls.
I don't know that we're.
I mean, shoot, you can do that in Galveston any day of the week with a bag of Cheetos. Go stand on the seawall, throw some French fries up in the air.
Yikes! Birds are too close.
Yeah, Kate doesn't do birds. But what if you have to karate chop a seagull to save a baby turtle?
Save a sea turtle. But anyways.
All right, let's see what we got posted. You gotta go watch it. It was just a comedian making a joke about snakes, which was funny, but I posted that. That's pretty good. This was cool. Jack posted this. It's a pied boa.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. See? Now I don't have to own pied ball pythons. I can just do it in my boas.
I like pied ball pythons.
These are always cool.
This creep me out so much.
What do they call it again? I forget. It starts with a D. What is it, Robert?
What? I wasn't listening.
The preserved specimens that they use that you can see through them.
Diaphanized?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that thing. Those are always cool looking.
They creep me out so much.
That was one thing I was very let down by. Not by our friends, the Grants. Callie was awesome. But we did that.
Her stuff is amazing, but it still creeps me out.
But we did the oddity show. And we sold a lot of 3D print stuff, but she sold a lot of really great preserved specimens.
Her things are the way that she
I expected there to be a lot more at the show, not just her.
So I will say that when I walked around, I expected to be, because this kind of stuff, it weirds me out. Like, it's cool, but whatever. Like our kid wanted to go watch like The Magician or whatever that was up there. Yeah. Like I literally stood next to her because she wanted me to be with her in the crowd of people with my back to the stage, because that stuff freaks me out so much. Like it's not my thing.
Just so Robert had to pay.
It was a lot of art stuff.
Robert, I didn't tell the story last week, but Robert knocked over. All right, he bumped into a curtain, and something fell off from the people behind us, and it cracked. And it was
Let me tell the story, because
he butchers it.
I'm not butchering it. I know it very well.
I tripped over a chair because I was moving too fast and I'm clumsy, and I hit the.
No one's going to believe you moved too fast, Robert. Stop.
Too fast for my body. Okay. I hit the grid wall behind us, because it's all pipe and drape. The whole thing is so. And I heard something fall and hit the ground. So I went around and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I think I knocked something off." And she was super busy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine." I was like, "Okay." So then like 2 hours later, she comes over and she's like, "Hey, I just had a chance to check, and yeah, this broke." And I'm like, "That's fine. I'll pay for it. How much?" And she was like, "Well, I'll sell it for $60. And I'm like, "Fine." It's like I don't even remember what it was. It was like a little
fiddler crab inside of a piece of
No. You should not have.
Hold on. It's a little fiddler crab. It's like a paperweight, basically. It's a fiddler crab inside of a piece of acrylic. Not acrylic. What is it?
I don't know.
Resin.
Epoxy, yeah.
And I had a little chip on the corner, so I'm like, "Fine, here's $60." And that was it. I give it to JT, and I'm like, "Here, put it with all y'all shit and see if you can sell it. Get me like $20 back or something, because we still had several hours to go." Well, JT takes a picture of it, runs it through Google Lens, finds it on Amazon for $20.
Yeah.
No.
It was just a mass-produced Asian, like Chinese.
It's something she made. And had I not gone around there and told her I knocked it off, she would have never known.
Yeah.
Because
you did the right thing. You still did the right thing. Person. So you get points for that.
Yeah.
But doing the right thing when nobody's looking is integrity. So.
But seeing that kind of stuff at the show, I was to get back to this, was our friend Callie had amazing stuff, and a lot of people had a lot of just mass produced stuff out of like China, like stuff you'd find on Temu or Amazon. Like, I don't know. It was weird. But then there was some cool. So there was some cool. Like I saw the largest fucking giraffe skull. That thing was kind of cool to see up close.
For $2,500.
It was a lot, but it was a massive giraffe skull.
Yeah,
you saw that one.
That was even Joe liked that.
And there was some good artists there. I bought you and Joe some art.
You did. Mine's already framed and hanging on the wall.
True. So there was a good, but yeah, the one behind us and the folks in front of us who just had straight up.
I guess I could have bought frames for our kids' art too.
It's her problem.
Yeah, she'll tell me when she wants something for it.
I also saw Jack posted this. They took tires and turned it into a coral snake, and I told our friends Becca and Drew that they need to do this for the learning zoo.
Those are cute.
Yeah,
I've done painted tires before for flower beds. It's really easy.
They need to do this. It'd be awesome. And then
spray paint is your friend when you do that project.
This is me talking about Pat. I found out Pat has penises.
Mazel tov.
Gross. This is what we talked about these last week.
Oh,
fucking featherless emus.
They're so weird. They're
so
cute.
this fits because Erin has ball sack cats.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my original co-hosts had ball sack cats, and I don't like cats. I don't. But she came to stay with us at her house in Louisiana, and she brought
cats.
them. They were fucking awesome.
They really were.
They were not like
cool.
cats.
They're like dogs.
Yes,
they're like dogs.
They were. Yeah, they're definitely not like a normal cat.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a grammar thing in class today, and it was
someone said ball sack.
No. Oh. But the sentence was, "I have 9 cats," and the number 9 was written in numerical form. And the rule is, if it's 10 or under, you're supposed to write it out in word form. Anyways, one of my kids was like, "Oh, Miss Lewis would die if she had to go to that house." I'm like, yes, I would.
That was the other great thing about the ball sack.
They all know I'm allergic to cats, so it was. I was like, but the hairless cats don't bother me.
But these fucking featherless emus
just weird
are horrifying.
So weird.
They're
pretty weird. They're gonna look like grown up.
Horrifying. I saw a picture of a featherless ostrich, and oh my god, it's gross. So, just look at oh god, imagine that coming at you. By the way, I'm turning some of these into signs. I'm gonna make some 3D printed signs of these because I thought these were hilarious. I like this one. I want to be a gaboon viper and give you all 2 inches. I love that.
You laughed at that in the car when I read that to you.
Yes.
I was like, okay.
Or this one, my balls fit right in your hand.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, he did. He made me read all of them in the car.
Yeah. Okay. This tortoise, you make things safe for me to come out of my shell. Nah, that's not funny. Are you a green tree python? Because you're difficult for no reason.
Don't look at me when you say that. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I love that one.
You've got your eyes to me. Wait.
Here we go. Are you a basin? You say a basin, not an basin. Yeah. Are you a basin? Because I don't think I'll be able to afford you.
Yeah.
Ever be able to.
Ever be able.
Ever.
Is that showing up backwards?
No.
No.
I am for ye to invest a satchel of Richard. Ingest.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Or
eat a bag of dicks.
Oh, this is the one with the typo. It should say from, not frawn.
What does it say on it? I can't. Hold on, Robert.
Lower it just. Yeah.
It says free ticket to Frost My Cupcake. Let's do dinner after dessert.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
I like this horned lizard one where it says, "You make me horny."
Yeah.
But
so
that Gabu Viper one is great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. That was
this
Rob
is
Christian.
The one that sells the best. Don't let the cats out or the cops in.
It's pretty good.
Well, that's a cool card. It looks like it's a Brettles. It's got
a neat pattern.
It's definitely Brettles because it's got patches of Brettles on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. Is it like a pie Brettles or is it a hybrid Brettles something else? I don't know.
That's crazy looking.
Mm-hmm.
It is wild.
It just says still a mind blowing carpet python, but it's definitely maybe Brettles and I've seen Brettles in jungles. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's cool looking though. Travis said, "How do monkeys recognize snakes so fast?" God, that involves reading. So
he gives you a short answer there.
There's nothing. No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. I thought he said for people like James who can't read. Here's what it says.
Normally he does.
Normally does. He did not there.
Normally he really does. Like we're not even kidding. He'll say for people that don't read. Here you go.
What in the world is this? Lion on a Leash: The Journey of French. West Virginia, West Virginia's African lion.
I have no idea.
I'll pass on that. That said book. I'm gone.
Me. Oh, this was hilarious.
Oh, Graham Charman blood warning. Oh, it's California King snake attacked him.
Yes.
Hey, James, I went into the comments on that carpet python.
Yeah.
And somebody asked what are the parents, and they said only can say for certain that the mother is a het stonewashed Brettles that is likely a parthenogenic chimera.
Huh.
That's interesting.
And they said,
And
which is really too difficult to explain to people without confusing everyone.
Oh.
Have we made it all night?
Try
we're
us.
good. It's just Robert.
Funny.
It's just Robert. He froze.
Sad day. Yeah, that was pretty. Just the way that Graham worded that whole post was just funny.
Oh, there's Robert. He's back.
I left.
You froze.
You froze.
Yeah,
I thought it was
working good
us.
for me.
Sad day.
Oh, this was cool. It's a leucistic hawk. It doesn't say what type of hawk. I'm assuming maybe a red. I don't know, but you can see it's solid white.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Huh.
That's really neat looking. What the fuck? Inflatable. So these frogs, those inflate these giant pouches and then sing.
That's weird.
Weird ass frogs.
That is very bizarre.
I had a student ask me, like, so are there like different species of frog?
No.
Like, we literally, you live in a place where that has like tree frogs and bullfrogs, like alone.
Yeah.
That they couldn't grasp the concept of there being different species of grasses. Oh, my kid who didn't know Mexico, where Mexico was, goes, so like, is there different species of water? I'm like,
no, ma'am.
Water's not alive. She goes, but no, but like there's sparkling water, and spring water, and salt water, and fresh water. I'm like, that's water with stuff in it. It's not alive. It can't. But how's it not a species if there's? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
And I know people are going to hear this and go, that couldn't happen. No one can be that dumb.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
It does. It does all the time.
Every day.
We read a passage today.
She asked me, she said that and goes, does that sound dumb? And I just looked at her and shook my head. Yes. I didn't say she was dumb, but
we read a passage today about leeches. And it was an informational passage and how to pull key details and all this. And all I could think about was our friend Hayden. Her leech passed away.
Oh, no.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. I was really sad for her.
I saw
Anyways.
that.
Here's Travis posted
yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, that's what I was
Watch
telling you
sea
about.
turtles dance for
I
joy
didn't click
when
the
they
video yet, but
magnetically sense it's snack time.
magically.
No.
Oh.
It does not say magically. I can fucking read.
I read it as magically. So that
You
means
can't read.
I read it.
You who teach reading can't read.
I
That
read
says
wrong.
magnetically. So
It totally does.
In
say
your face.
magnetically.
shows what you know.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the video later to see what the hell that means. But anyways, so that's what was posted in the last week over on our discussion page. You can see blown up frogs, white birds, or birds with no feathers at all, and a snake that we have no idea what it's actually mixed with. Or you can see where Rob Christian offered to give all 2 inches of himself to people.
Oh, God.
So
Oh, this is cool.
what?
I clicked on the article to read it. And so basically what they're doing is they're doing research to determine whether or not the reptiles can memorize their favorite feeding sites based on the Earth's magnetic fields.
Yeah, it didn't sound as much fun as I thought it did. That's too much science.
It has to do with...
I pictured just them using a bunch of magnets and making them dance.
It has to...
Just
They're
hold magnets next
using
to the
the
tank.
Earth's magnetic fields like a compass. And so now they're doing research to determine if it's just by luck or like, are they just learning this over time? This is cool.
So cool. I mean, not as cool as like when we normally talk about animal
Well,
penises.
that's a curious thing, though. But I mean, think about it. You know, the Earth's magnetic field moves. It's.
Mhm.
I was reading an article actually last night that was saying that they're having to recalibrate or redo everyone's, sea navigational, equipment because the magnetic fields of the Earth has changed and it shifted. It says that our field has shifted more towards Siberia as opposed to Greenland, I think that was the 2 opposing sides. So I wonder then if that's the case with the magnetic field shifting, if the turtles might be off kilter for their snack spot.
Yeah. So it's saying that the turtles would spend time in a bowl that had a particular magnetic inclination and intensity, and they would use different radio frequencies to adjust those. And the magnetic waves that were classified as like snack time basically issued and elicited the same reaction out of turtles, even like months after the fact, whenever that.
So they're just sitting around with magnets confusing the shit out of turtles.
It actually says like, they even tried to block certain recognition. And even though it discombobulated the turtles during the experiment, they would still.
Does it actually say discombobulated?
Yes. It says.
I've never seen that word spelled out a day in my life.
Really?
Discombobulated.
It's one of my favorite words. It's so much fun.
How many B's are in discombobulated?
2.
3? 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird word.
Anyways, but they've also noticed this phenomenon in certain birds and amphibians.
Birds
think it has to do with migration.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I mean, like whales do that too. Sharks can do it.
There is not a video.
Turtles would have it. Sea turtles would have it for nesting sites. That makes sense.
Birds do it on a regular basis when they.
This little turtle looks like it's having a seizure in this video.
But see, all that stuff's neat. But what's really neat is things like butterflies who migrate after never actually making the trip once.
Yeah. Read an article about butterflies last week.
They migrate monarchs will migrate to Mexico, never having made the trip. I
love teaching informational literature.
And they get to that. They get to that like one group of trees in Mexico, and then they end up like dying. Like there's a whole generation that only do that flight once. It's
only does it once. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So like it's not like they flew south with a bunch of parents and learned it, and the next year did it like birds do. So animals, weird.
Fascinating stuff.
And there's more than one species of frog, in case anybody's wondering. So now y'all know.
Poor kids.
I'm responsible for making sure these kids pass the grade they're in.
This is why I teach little babies that are 9 years old and
I can't be held responsible
fascinated by leeches.
But I can't be held responsible for how stupid they are.
Their minds were blown today that people actually still use leeches in today's society for things.
Yeah, hospitals still use them.
It blew their mind. They were like, this should be something of the past. I'm like, no, there are actual medical.
They help with surgery, like on fingers and stuff. They help.
Yeah, that's what it talked about in our article we read.
Compartments that keeps down blood from building up.
I'm telling you, I love this new curriculum that I have because the informational articles really are the best part of the whole curriculum.
That's cool.
It's fascinating. Some of the stuff we've read about.
I hate my new curriculum, but whatever.
The 3D printed hands. That was cool.
Yeah. You act like no one else has heard of that.
I'm just saying. I hadn't heard about it until I read the article.
Sound like my kid who didn't know there were more than one species of frog.
Well, I also don't pay attention to things in the 3D print world.
You should.
I know.
You should. It's a very
important. We could be making hands for kids that don't have hands, James.
No, we can't.
Yes.
We don't have the equipment
to make put good things out in the world.
I don't have the equipment to make 3D printed hands for kids.
That's so cool. And all of my kids were like, Mr. Lewis could do this for somebody. That was the best part, is watching this room of 9-year-olds immediately think
the closest we can get to is Robert printing hands that have a big middle finger that pops out. That's the closest we got.
Oh my gosh.
So he's going to go find his hand with the middle finger on it.
For those of you that are listening that are like me and have no clue what we're talking about, there is an organization that prints 3D hands for kids that are missing a limb.
A hand.
I would not a limb.
If they're missing a leg, printing them a hand's not going to do shit for them.
Oh, okay, fine.
This is actually Thing from Adam's Family.
Nice.
That's funny.
It's the real one. That's actually him right there.
Goodness gracious.
All right. We got to wrap this up.
I'm hungry.
You should have eaten beforehand.
I got home and had 10 minutes to get upstairs.
That's right. Then you choked on nuts.
And then I choked on cashews.
I said that. Choked on nuts.
I'm going to throat punch you.
Well, do that.
4 people watching are going to get to witness violence. I'm very violent tonight. I apologize.
You can go sleep by yourself.
Maybe I should cash in my 1 hour of alone time coupon.
Oh my God.
That way you don't have to be around me.
You don't have to cash it in. I'll just not be around you. Anyways. All right, Erin. So if people want to get a hold of you and talk to you, if they have questions about real estate or what they should be looking for, or if they want your help to find a house, how can they get a hold of you?
Send me a Facebook request. I'm on there all the time. I post lots of stuff on there regularly. Also, my phone number is on there. So if you wanted to call me, don't call me for weird shit. Not into it. No, thank you. Just call me for real estate. Or you can always email me, whether it be for ReptiChip, if you're curious about that, Erin at reptichip.com, or you can contact me for real estate at Erin at buysellsoco, and that's SOCO.com.
So get a house. Eventually, we're going to
or some ReptiChip, either way.
Get a house and then fill it with Repti. You know what? Get rid of all the carpet, fill your ground with ReptiChip. Nakia, you can walk around on ReptiChip and your feet will stay warm.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Bioactive house. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
You don't have to clean anything, just a whole house full of roly-polies living in the ground.
Just fill your basement up with that.
They'll clean it up.
Shit and pee all over your house, drop food.
No.
You don't do that already, James? I mean,
oh god.
Fucking dog does.
She doesn't have accidents when I watch her. Okay. It's just our kid.
I don't care. It's our kid's dog. Fucking dogs. You know who
that dog's
shit around
already
the house?
started enough fights that I have witnessed. I don't want to see another one.
He doesn't like it when mom and dad argue.
Mom and dad, who I'm older than.
I was thinking that when I said that, actually.
God, Robert, you're so old.
I'm going to be 45 in like 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Hey, you can join the club with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the 45
I'm gonna
club,
live out
buddy.
the last year of my third thing.
I'll be 45 in 5 years.
Yeah.
Those of y'all listening, we will be back next week with somebody. Yeah, we'll have it last second. I also will have last week's podcast out by the end of tonight. I'm apologize. I'm not apologizing. I'll have it out by the end of tonight at some point. And I'll have this one out at some point in the near-ish future when I get to it. Now having two computers gets very confusing on which computer I can move things to. But anyways, come join us on our cruise October whatever to whatever, 11th to 15th?
11th or 16th.
16th. So close. We're going to
places.
Help me fill this in here.
Mexico.
Cozumel and Playa del Carmen, maybe, or
That doesn't sound right.
yeah,
We're going on a vacation. That's what we're doing.
I don't
know
really
where
just
we're
know
going,
that there's
but I don't have to do
all you can
damn thing.
all
for
you can
5
eat ice
days.
cream. All you can eat ice
Care
cream.
about that.
Every time you walk by the ice cream machine, you get an ice cream.
I'm gonna
cone.
do what I want for 5 days. I may only see James when it's time to go to bed at night.
That's a vacation.
Do what I want.
Come hang out with us on a boat for 5 days and watch Katie cry about sea turtles, possibly.
Progresso and
So
Cozumel. I was just
Yeah, progressive. So you can come talk about insurance at Progressive. And then
So-
and
I missed
No,
the
it's
mark on both
Progresso.
of them.
You talk about spaghetti sauce.
and that soup or whatever. Progressive.
Progresso. It's Progresso.
That's right. That's sauce. That's right. What, Robert?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say
Sorry.
something.
I said I missed the mark on both ports. I didn't get either one right.
Were you at least in the right country?
I was in the right hemisphere.
There we go. It was all in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Actually,
Well, it's
Yeah.
if they're south, yeah.
Gulf of Mexico.
depends on which map you look at now.
It'll be the Gulf of Mexico in 4 years, so it's fine. I'll just hold out.
It's okay. Pluto's still a planet. I don't care what people say.
Look, I'm so petty that Amazon was late with my delivery that I paid $2.99 for to get by 3 o'clock, and I made them refund me the $3.24 for the.
Hell yeah.
Well, they
you
already
gotta
sent
make
you-
that $60 for you.
Well, this in
lost on
24
that
hours, they have sent me a water cooler instead of a 3D printer. Another order that I made that was supposed to, I made it on Friday, was supposed to be here Tuesday. Now it won't be here until next Tuesday.
Well, it's Tuesday.
And now this filament that I ordered last night I paid $2.99 extra to have it here by 3 o'clock today. Didn't get here till 5. So, and they said it's because of traffic. I'm like, okay, Bob in India, you have no clue what our traffic's like here. Thanks.
That's what Katie asked me. I called AT&T, and we got like an email about how was your phone call with John, and she's like, "So did you talk to was it John?" I was like, his real name wasn't John.
Or it was like Charlie or something. Like I was like, I've talked to most of our people before, and
so they last night I got on the chat with them about the 3D printer, and they're giving me a $30 credit. Once I receive it, I have to get back in the chat, and they'll give me a $30 credit for the stuff that I was supposed to be here yesterday. That now won't be here till next week. When I receive it, I have to get back in the chat, and they're going to give me a 10% credit, which is like $5.
So where do you have to, are they coming to pick the water cooler up?
No, I got to take it by UPS and drop it off. That's why they're giving me a $30 credit for the inconvenience of taking the 60-pound water cooler.
It's a big water cooler.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is it got delivered yesterday, and I wasn't at work, and somebody took it up and put it in my office. And Michelle, who shares an office with me, she sends me a message, "Hey, your water cooler got delivered." And I was like, haha, because it's a big 3D printer. It's tall. So I figured it, it was in a big box. So I thought she was just making a joke. So I text JT, "Hey, can you bring that printer by my house before you go home? Because it's a quarter of a mile from work." He said, "Sure." He calls me like 30 minutes later, and he's like, "Dude, it's actually a water cooler." And sends me the pictures, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's a Brio water cooler."
I almost sent you a picture of, so when I was getting filament yesterday at Micro Center, the printer box right behind the filament is that printer, and I almost just sent you a picture of that box. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
It was like they delivered it to Micro Center. That was the problem.
Yeah.
You have their water cooler. They've been waiting on it.
Somebody got that water cooler is 130, and that 3D printer is more than that. Somebody got that because that's the only thing I could think is the two they got switched because they're
the
similar.
Labels got slapped on the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So whoever got that, if they're smart, they'll just keep it and not say anything and just order another water cooler.
Yeah. Wait till you'll find out. It'll be on Facebook Marketplace in a day or two. There'll be a brand new one for sale.
Bank error.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to say this really quick before we go. Today, JT and I had to go up to one of our offsite warehouses that has a lot of scratch and dent stuff, and we pulled a $2,500 Wolf built-in microwave out that we needed to go out on a job, and the glass in it was broken. So we're like, okay, well, we're just going to scrap it then. It's trash. Well, we have a policy that you can buy anything that's going in scrap for $20. So I was like, shit, I'll buy that for $20 and just put a new door on it and then sell it for $1,500. Yeah. The door is $800.
Jesus Christ.
So I was like,
the door of the microwave.
It's a bougie ass Wolf drop down door microwave with a removable tray. And they're nice, but yeah, I'm not spending $800 on a door just to make $200 when I sell the thing.
Jeez.
Oh, we had Bill Stiegel made a comment on one of our questions from this. I just want to do it real quick. It was when buying a house, would you get a realtor with reptiles? Bill said I would research local laws and avoid any HOAs. It wouldn't be how I'd choose my realtor, unless it was Erin. That could also be how you choose your realtor as well. So,
I love Bill. He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
cool dude.
I'm printing a green tree python this weekend. I want to do it in black and like blue and green, like the sickness.
Yeah.
Cool. I may try.
Bill changed all of our minds about green tree pythons.
Yeah,
Bitey and all that. He changed when he was on with us. He changed all of our minds.
Yeah.
I just love green tree python people. They're like, yeah, we don't care if they're hybrids. Fuck it, it's fine.
Yeah, they don't.
Do what I want.
And then you have like carpet python people like, you don't breed them together. I'm like, well, the green tree people did, and it looked cool.
And it looked cool.
Cool.
You guys need to get with the program.
maybe your stuff will look cooler if you would just breed them together.
Oh my gosh.
But just please quit breeding all the other pythons to ball pythons. Nobody wants that. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
And quit putting the name ball in their name because you think it's hilarious. All right. Thanks, Erin, for coming. Hang out just a second as we log off. Everybody else will be back next week. Again, check out the Reptile Gumbo podcast on Instagram, Facebook, all the other places. Check out our store if you want. Grab a shirt, grab a hat, whatever.
Join Patreon so that I can get off James's back about this free podcast for everybody else. It is not free for our house bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't look at the bank account, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I have to check our finances.
Join our Patreon. Come on a cruise with us. I think I've got everything. Go to VivTech, buy a light bulb, buy some rep chip, all the stuff. All right. We'll be back next week. Thank y'all for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
They can still